Ah, the Shoebill Stork. The prehistoric swamp nightmare with a whale-headed bill, scaly velociraptor feet, and a stare that could freeze the sun. This bird makes every other feathered creature look like a plush toy having an emotional breakdown. From decapitating lungfish to machine gun bill greetings and diva-level arrogance, the shoebill is evolution's most unholy inside joke. Today we're diving beak first into the living embodiment of dread, disaster, and damp existentialism. This is everything wrong with the Shoebill Stork. Sorry to interrupt, but smash that like button and subscribe if you're brave enough to survive a shoebill staring contest. Thanks, you courageous legend. Judgmental death stare. Behold the shoebill's defining feature, its soul-piercing, anxiety-inducing death stare. With golden eyes that look directly into your unresolved childhood trauma, this bird stands motionless for hours, silently evaluating every mistake you've ever made. Scientists call it still hunting, but let's be honest, it's passive-aggressive spiritual warfare. It doesn't blink, it doesn't move, it just judges. You could confess your sins, and it would still look unimpressed. People online treat it like an internet celebrity, turning its face into memes and reaction gifs that perfectly capture the feeling of being done with humanity. If birds had performance reviews, this one would simply write pathetic and walk away. Every photo session becomes a therapy appointment you didn't ask for. When a shoebill locks eyes with you, it's not curiosity. It's nature whispering, "You are prey emotionally and otherwise." Sibling slaughter. Family bonding. Shoebill edition, pure unfiltered carnage. Inside the nest, the older chick doesn't just outgrow the younger, it ends them. Zoologists politely call it siblicide, but it's really Survivor Swamp Edition. The parents? They stand there, casually watching, occasionally tossing a fish like it's a medieval trial by combat. The stronger chick wins, the weaker one becomes a moral lesson. By the time these birds fledge, they've already experienced their first existential crisis and committed at least one felony. If you thought family dinners were awkward, imagine sharing a nest where the menu might include your sibling. The shoebill family tree isn't branching, it's pruning itself in real time. Nature doesn't do sibling rivalry here, it does throne succession. Confused identity. For centuries, scientists couldn't even decide what this thing was. A stork, a pelican, a fever dream? The shoebill sat at the crossroads of taxonomy, cackling silently while researchers threw Latin at it. Genetic studies finally placed it closer to pelicans, but even that feels like science admitting defeat. The bird itself doesn't care. It struts through wetlands like a model at a funeral, secure in its chaos. Its body screams Jurassic Park. Its face screams, "I judge your lineage." Every textbook update ends with one conclusion. The shoebill is its own taxonomic middle finger to order and sanity. It's not evolution's mistake. It's evolution's sarcastic masterpiece. Whale-headed monstrosity. That beak. My God, that beak. It's enormous, shovel-shaped, and looks like it could double as medieval weaponry. The nickname whale-headed stork says it all. It's the only bird that could probably unhinge your front door. The design is both functional and horrifying. Sharp edges, a hook tip, and enough bite pressure to turn a fish into sushi. Tourists describe it as majestic, which is code for, "I screamed but got a great photo." Biologists admire the efficiency, but deep down, everyone knows it looks like evolution built a pelican out of spare dinosaur parts. Every glance of that bill feels personal. You don't look at a shoebill, you look into it and question whether your insurance covers avian-induced trauma. Prey decapitation ritual. Dinner time in the shoebill world is a Quentin Tarantino film. The bird's feeding technique? Decapitation. It doesn't nibble or peck, it executes. Lungfish, catfish, baby crocodiles. Nothing escapes the guillotine of doom. Scientists describe this as efficient predation. Sure, efficient in the same way a blender is efficient at destroying fruit. Watching a shoebill eat is equal parts awe and horror. It strikes once, shakes violently, then proudly swallows the remains like it's sipping fine wine. For the swamp's other residents, it's the end credits of their existence. Every feeding session is nature's way of reminding us that elegance and terror can absolutely share a dinner table. Statue-like stalker. Patience is supposed to be a virtue, but in the shoebill's case, it's a threat. These birds stand perfectly still for hours, unmoving, unblinking, unmoved by time itself. Tourists often think they're taxidermy until the statue suddenly lunges and reality shatters. This hunting style is so unnerving that even crocodiles hesitate to swim near them. The air goes quiet, the swamp freezes, and then BAM! One catastrophic strike later, lunch is gone. It's not stalking, it's psychological warfare. Even the plants look nervous. The shoebill's stillness isn't peace. It's the calm before an evolutionary thunderclap. Velociraptor feet. As if the face wasn't enough nightmare fuel, look down. Those legs are scaly, reptilian, and built like industrial scaffolding. Shoebill feet could probably bench press a flamingo. Each claw is an evolutionary relic, sharp and hooked, turning every step into a threat. They wade through swamp muck like they own the place, which, let's be honest, they do. You don't argue with a creature whose toes look like they belong in a fossil exhibit. Watching it walk feels like watching a dinosaur reluctantly tolerating modern society. Jurassic Park lied, the raptors never left, they just got feathers and an attitude. Machine gun bill clatter. Love is loud when you're a shoebill. Courtship doesn't involve singing or dancing, it's gunfire. These birds greet each other by snapping their massive bills so fast it sounds like a machine gun echoing across the swamp. Biologists call it a greeting display. Everyone else calls it avian artillery. Two shoebills face each other, eyes locked, heads bobbing, and unleash a deafening clack, clack, clack that could startle a tank crew. It's part romance, part intimidation, and 100% terrifying. Forget candlelight dinners. Shoebills flirt like it's trench warfare. When they finally pair bond, it's less love story and more non-aggression pact. Leg spa apocalypse. Most animals cool off by panting or bathing. The shoebill, it poops on its legs. Yes, really. Scientists call it urohydrosis, but it's exactly what it sounds like. Swamp-born self-hydration through liquid chaos. The bird stands in its own mess, radiating the confidence of something that knows it's gross but doesn't care. Evaporation lowers its body temperature, but dignity evaporates with it. It's part horror, part genius, and entirely nightmare fuel. Other species sweat. The shoebill self-marinates. Evolution didn't design beauty here. It designed commitment to chaos. Shrill threat display. When provoked, the shoebill goes full banshee. It spreads its 7-foot wingspan, gapes its monstrous bill, and unleashes a screech that sounds like a squeaky door dying inside a megaphone. It's a bluff, but your nervous system doesn't know that. Every tourist who's heard it swears they briefly saw their ancestors. The sound echoes through wetlands like an alarm clock from the underworld. Even hippos hesitate. It's nature's loudest back-off message. No violence needed, just sonic intimidation. You could record the scream, play it during Halloween, and instantly evacuate an entire neighborhood. Sudden collapse ambush. The shoebill doesn't chase prey, it collapses on it, literally. This hunting style, known as a collapse strike, involves the bird suddenly lunging forward with all its weight like a felonious yoga move. One moment, it's still a stone. The next, it's a feathered guillotine. Fish have milliseconds to realize they're doomed. Watching it hunt feels like slow-motion horror. Silence, tension, explosion. Evolution skipped subtlety here. It gave us the swamp's most dramatic jump scare. The prey dies instantly, and the audience dies internally. Infant crocodile carnage. Because apparently decapitating fish wasn't scary enough, shoebills occasionally hunt baby crocodiles. You know, just for variety. A silent shadow looms, one lightning strike later, and a young reptile becomes dinner. The food chain cries quietly. Scientists describe it as opportunistic feeding. Everyone else calls it the reason I'm never going to Uganda without emotional support. It's not aggression, it's confidence. The bird doesn't fear predators. It eats them before they grow up. Apex predators? Please. The shoebill was apex before it was trendy. Captive breeding failure. For a species this terrifying, shoebills are surprisingly terrible at romance. Zoos worldwide have tried to breed them for decades, usually ending in heartbreak, silence, or dramatic side-eye. Only a handful of chicks have ever hatched successfully in captivity. The rest? Just tense staring competitions and mutual disdain. Scientists blame stress and complex environmental needs, but deep down, we know the truth. Shoebills are drama queens. They want perfect humidity, perfect lighting, and emotional distance. They don't breed. They audition partners like picky film directors. You can recreate the swamp, but you can't recreate the attitude. Black market bonanza. Because humanity never learns, the shoebill's terrifying allure made it a black market luxury pet. Poachers capture them for wealthy collectors, selling live birds for tens of thousands of dollars. The process is cruel, the survival rate low, and the irony staggering. People risk their lives wading through hippo-infested swamps to steal a creature that could literally bite their fingers off. Conservationists call it a tragedy. The birds call it Tuesday. Each capture is a small ecological crime wrapped in human stupidity. Owning one isn't status. It's a countdown to regret. Divine sushi demands. Meet Sushi, the most famous captive shoebill in Japan. Known for demanding that visitors bow before it. Not metaphorically. Literally bow. If you don't, it refuses interaction. The bird has become an online legend, ruling its enclosure like a royal dictator. Zookeepers describe its behavior as dominance display. We call it divine comedy. Humans kneel. The bird nods approvingly, as if to say, "Yes, peasant, proceed." Sushi turned evolution into theater, weaponizing dignity into ritual. Somewhere, Darwin is both impressed and afraid. Hiccuping beggar horror? Baby shoebills don't chirp, they hiccup like tiny possessed humans. The sound is unsettling, part infant cry, part horror movie audio glitch. It's called begging vocalization, but it feels like a ghost trying to call for customer service. Caretakers describe feeding time as emotional whiplash, adorable at first, terrifying after 10 seconds. You want to comfort them, but you also want an exorcist. These hiccups echo through nests like a haunting reminder that cuteness and fear can coexist in one damp, feathered package. Pathetic flapping fumble. Flying is supposed to be birds' defining feature. For shoebills, it's more of an optional embarrassment. Watching one take off looks like watching a forklift attempt ballet. They beat their wings slowly, about 150 flaps a minute, heaving through the air with visible effort. Graceful? Absolutely not. Effective? Barely. When they finally land, it's less majestic descent and more controlled crash. They could fly better, but they'd rather conserve energy for judging humanity. Even gravity is scared to mock them too loudly. Killer strut. When shoebills walk, they don't stroll, they approach. Each step feels intentional, like a villain entering frame in slow motion. Internet users describe it best. That bird walks like it's planning something. Massive feet crush reeds. Long legs drag purposefully. Eyes never blink. It's not walking. It's sentencing. Every movement carries silent menace, like evolution itself decided to cosplay as a hitman. You can't look away because deep down, you know it knows you're afraid. Swamp diva drama. Every encounter with a shoebill feels theatrical. Whether it's refusing to move for hours or posing for cameras with lethal poise, it behaves like a celebrity who knows it's trending. Photographers call it patience. The rest of us call it performance art. Shoebills don't need applause. They demand silence. Even their resting face says, "You're welcome." It's the only bird that could star in both a horror movie and a Vogue cover shoot without changing expression. And there you have it. What do you think of the Shoebill Stork? Let me know down below and see you in the next video.